Hi, welcome to my another video where we talk about different ravaged blight strategies. So today we're gonna talk about the silver, double black, triple opal strategy. Of course, that includes triple teal oil, which is I think necessary to make any money out of ravaged blights. And yeah, I did run like 50 maps. My top loot was 2000, almost 2300 chaos. The worst was only 1800. Total was around 10k, including like the maps that Exilion's Next does not pick. And we resulted at 41 divines in a little bit over 6 hours, right? So yeah, so what is the issue? Why is it like worse than last league? And why can't we like pop up the numbers above 10 exalteds? And to me, it's because of few things. The first most important is that the divine exalted change did not include divine shards, and shards are, let's say, steady income from blighted maps. You get the shard chests and you get a lot of exalted shards that are worthless now. Before it was like for every 2 or 3 exalted orbs you've got like 1 exalted in shards, like so. You can just simply assume that we would have like 100 C more per each of 10 maps. That's on average, I think, what we could get, like 100 C from each of the maps. So that's the first thing. Second is that we do not run corrupted maps. This is because I don't want the corruption to ruin my runs. There are 2 ways they can be ruined. First is like I get bad mods, like monster speed cannot be reduced under base value, or reflect elemental damage, or monsters get like energy shield based on, let's say, 50% of the HP, which let's say negatively impact my runs. It's still possible, but I could fail, right? And I still fail because I get like distracted, or you know, if you really do one map after another, or whatever happens, there are reasons that you might fail like 1 in 10 maps, right? That's just normal. If I had my build finished with Mage Blood, that would be rather less frequent because I would have much better damage. I could, let's say, kill the monsters just standing near the pump like I did last week, regardless of the mods, if it's 8 mod, etc. But now it is what it is, and for this reason I set the time for 75 minutes. This is just like I recorded the video, I believe, of this run when I did exactly that time. There are many reasons why it takes so much longer, so long, let's say way longer than it used to be. One of them is that the loot is different. I try to go through the fractured items because they can be worth few divines if you hit like T1 mod, the correct mod on the correct item. And yeah, that's taking more time, and plus I'm picking up jewellery. I will stop maybe soon, but for now it's still a good money. You can sell something for 100 C without problems. If you are like if you don't care, then you can sell a lot of for 10C. I try to minimize the 10C trades. The same with flasks. I stopped picking the flasks, but yeah, you can also sell them for 1020C. I have whole stash of it, so I try to re-roll them with orb of alterations. But anyway, that increases the time, right? The more items you wanna get, the more let's say profit per investment you wanna get, and the less time and overall worse divine per hour ratio, right? Which we try to maximize. So yeah, so those 2 reasons are why we get lower loot than the previous league. First is exalted divine change. The second is basically that we have to spend more time looting because the loot is now a little bit different. Third reason would be that the pump loot is now completely ruined to me. Either you are lucky and you get like 2 divines out of it, or 1 divine, or you get mostly nothing, right? So like 5C. Previously it was better. Another reason is that more people run blighted maps because normal maps are also ruined, right? So more people does this content. So the taint oil, which I think comes from normal blights, because I doubt many people run ravaged maps corrupted with like the setup I do. They either run let's say sepia, clear oil, and amber just to make the map, right? So they are mostly focused on completing it, not on juicing it. And the taint oil is very cheap. We don't have recombinators. There's not much use. Last leak it was, let's say, I think the most profitable ever. So yeah, we cannot compare. Now I don't think it's worth it to run corrupted maps, so we lost this part of profit. It was, let's say, 2 to 3 divines per hour. And another thing is that the maps are cheaper, right? Because it's pretty hard to sell maps in bulk, and we drop a lot of maps, right? So let's go to the loot distribution. So this is a total for all the items. You can see we dropped like almost 10. It's 9 raw divines. We dropped almost 1k chaos in stack decks. They are like 1.3 now today. I believe they will soon come to 2 chaos, so we can expect this to be similar, and we get more loot from blighted maps if stack decks go up. So the further in league, the better profit from ravaged maps. But yeah, let's talk about here and today, because stack decks drop from all the content, right? So if you want to compare with Simu or with whatever, it will be the same there, right? So we got a little bit chaos orbs, golden oil going up, but it's still quite a chunk of a profit. So anyway, if we would just narrow down, okay, let's include patient. If we would only narrow down to 100 plus C trades, that's almost 6k chaos, which would be like 50 something percent of total loot, right? That's to me that's okay, because you can keep up with buying maps, buying oils, juicing, and upgrading your build, right? Yeah, but if we look at category, how it really looks like, because the single items don't tell you much, because we basically discarded like 150 positions just just to narrow down the majority of loot. But here we can see that 50% of loot is currency that you can sell on TFT in bulk. You can sell in bulk in your stash tab. Then you have 15% of oil and 10% of essence, right? So with this one, yeah, it's really difficult to judge, because some of you will sell this for 60%. I personally use them to craft, so to me it's like I could really just delete it from here and we would be at 9k chaos. That's more realistic profit. And then you have maps that are difficult to sell, so that's another 600 C that we lose. And fossils, this is good, and you'll probably sell them for almost 100% of value. Sometimes they sell them more expensive, let's say for higher price, but this league, even they are more popular, the sales do not go well. Fragments and everything else is just a small chunk, right? So like 10%. The scarabs are good loot. Divination cards are just the big drops. I deleted all the 1, 2C cards, so you get only like patient, etc., like expensive cards. Incubators, and this is interesting yet, but incubators are self-sustaining, so this is also worthless loot. However, this will produce you the currency. If you use them to run your ravaged maps, you will get a lot of currency out of it, so it's even more than 200C. So yeah, in reality you will just drop divine orbs thanks to incubators, but you could sell them in bulk as well. So anyway, not to make this too long, I think this strategy is much better. Here we had 4 divines. It requires a better build, right? But we go like 50% up, and I feel this is not like very lucky let's say loot, or those weren't lucky sessions. Here we had like maybe 2 lucky sessions, 1 unlucky, and this is I think the closest to the reality. something between 1900 and 2k. That's what I would expect from this. Whether it's best, no, I don't think it's best. There's still a lot of science to do by me, but so far the golden oil does not seem to be worth it. You get like 150C from map and you invest 100C, so it's way worse to use golden and silvers. I'm gonna play with silver and opal combinations to see maybe 2 silver, 1 black, because the black oil is interesting in the way that it can double your divine orb, so you have like 6% chance by 25% by boost by epidemiology. That's 9% of chance for doubling your divine orb, which is huge, right? Because we lost taint oil, its golden oil is less effective for its price, but black oil is interesting, right? So what else could we test? Like crimson oil, so more lucky chests, maybe more divines, and maybe this is the next thing I'm gonna test, like 1 silver, 3 opals, and 2 crimsons, because the idea here is to make the most out of silver oil, which is expensive. And if the more we invest in silver oils, the more loot we get. However, we won't get good loot, so 90% of it will be filtered out, and you will have to pick the small currency to make profit. So the more you click, the more time you spend. The more time you spend, the less overall profit it is. So it's all about balance, right? And this is my job to actually find the right strategy, maybe farm mage blood, or just have fun with the currency I make, right? So okay, this video got a little bit too long, longer than I planned, but I hope it's yeah, it will save you some time from let's say not going with wrong strategies, and if you have the build that can manage, I feel this is pretty okay. I think it's just like Heist or a little bit better than Heist. Not sure how much those guys get, but 6 divines per hour is pretty good. Oh, and maybe just for finish, if you get better filter, if you stop failing maps, you should get to 60 minutes, right? So 60 minutes should be possible with this setup with only 1 silver oil. The more silver oils, the less possible it should be. But with mage blood and good filter, this strategy should be 60 actually. So with 60, that's 8 divines, right? So if you can do that, yeah, then the profit goes up a lot. And that's where you should look. Upgrades, not really by adjusting this differently, but maybe trying to lower the time by skipping the items you don't need, right? So like for me it was jewellery, some divine cards, fractured items, and maybe something else that I shouldn't have in my filter, and I will probably get rid of most of those things soon. Yeah, okay, so thanks for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for other strategies. Bye.